Hey everybody, all you Back to the Future fans. I just wanted to show off my new Class 5 vest. As you can see, it's got the tag there and all the Class 5 logos on the buttons. And the domes. And it's a pretty, I think it's a, I would consider it maybe a medium, almost a large. And, it's a really nice fit. However, I just lied to you. This is a Max Caddy vest that so this is a replica vest that I bought online from Japan or China or whatever. And yeah, I modified it. I made this tag and I made all the logos for these domes here. So this video, I'm going to teach you how to print on these domes and how to get that print on there. And then it's pretty much the same exact method that I use for the tag as well. So I'm going to stop the video and move to the kitchen and I'll teach you how I did this. Alright, so just ignore this line here because that's my printer screwing up. But as you can see right here, this is the graphic that I created for the domes. And I just used Adobe Elements for that. Well, actually, it's a really hard program to use, Adobe Elements. So I ended up taking a larger image, like a really great big image that looked like this or looked similar to that. And then drag that into Photoshop from Google. And then I edited everything into Photoshop so that I could, once I was happy with it, then I moved it over to Adobe Elements and resized it and printed it onto here. So that's all backwards because, I'll show you why that is. And then this is for the tag. And this is just on paper, but I just ended up printing that on like using the same program. I printed it onto some like silk type material. So for these parts here, or for the domes, what you use is parchment paper. It can't be wax paper because wax it'll stick to the wax, but parchment paper is like nothing really sticks to it. So what you do is you cut a strip of that. That's what you see this outline is here. And then tape it down to a page, send it through the printer. It's probably not good for your printer that way, but that's probably why this line showed up, because it probably wrecked the printer doing stuff like this. But yeah, it's working so far and I'm really happy with the outcome. So I'm just gonna tape another strip on here because I got a couple of domes that I wasn't quite happy with, but originally they all turned out really good, but I just kind of screwed up with the placement. So I'm gonna tape some more parchment paper onto here, run it through the printer, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so correction, I'm using Adobe Illustrator, not Adobe Elements. So that tells you just how often I use it, and I don't even know what it's called. But I got the parchment paper taped down here. So you want to print off your graphic first. And once that comes through the printer, just pay attention to the orientation of the page. And then just tape down your parchment paper right over top of your graphic. And then as soon as you're happy with that, put that back in here. I do this one-handed because I'm holding the camera. There we go. Alright, so everything should be good. I'll just go up here to print. The thing about parchment paper is like nothing sticks to it, so you got all this ink on here, but that's just sitting on top of the paper. It's not really burned into it, like, because I'm not using a laser printer or a laser printer. I'm using an inkjet printer. So yeah, the ink is just sitting right on top and it's ready to be disturbed. So the next phase is I'm going to peel all this off, make sure I don't disrupt the ink on here. And then what I'm going to do is use some adhesive spray, so some spray glue. Get some spray glue on there. And then you just use some tweezers and position that over top of your dome. And then just press it down with your finger and then it'll lift off. Don't lift up, but peel away to the side. Anyways, I'll make a video and I'll show you the process of that as well. So I'll just stop this. All right, here we go with the spray glue. So you want to make sure it's ink side up. And of course your text is backwards because you want the glue side down when you stick it to the domes. There we go. And that's all it takes, just to glue, just to get enough glue on there. And then yeah, I'm gonna cut these out, or cut a couple of them out anyways, and I'll show you which domes I'm gonna fix. Alright, so I got my strip of class 5 decals there. That's one that I accidentally touched and then just kind of ruined the graphic. Now this isn't the best lighting, I'm just in my bedroom right now, but it's the one that I want to replace. Is it going to focus? Yep, sort of. So you can see, like, I'm really picky, but that 5 didn't quite turn out. This one turned out good, so you can see how it's really shiny. What I do afterwards is, because it'll scratch off really easily, I've just been using some clear nail polish just to protect it so that it won't rub off. And then if it's too shiny, then you can go over it with some kind of like a matte finish, something that's not as glossy. So those ones both turned out good. That's the other one. Right. And then this one, 5 didn't turn out all that great, so I'm going to try to fix that one. And then, yeah, that one turned out good as well, although it's not focusing again. Focus. Come on. Focus for me. Anyways. You can kind of see, like, this is really bad lighting in here too. Anyways, you can just take my word for it. It did turn out good. So I'm going to prepare one. I'm going to clean all this off. If you screw up and you have to do it again, what I'm using is something called Goof Off, which is it's like a lacquer, and then I just use a Q-tip and clean that off, and then just I'll clean that one off too. So I'll prepare these and then show you what it's like. Alright, so I got the bottom one cleared off. And I've got my graphic right here with the glue and some tweezers. And I'm going to stick that in place where I want it. And you know what? I need the use of my other hand. So I'm going to set this down. I'll talk you through the process. Alright, so I'm just holding it right in place. There. Alright. So now I'm just going to push that down really good. Just kind of run over it with my fingernail just to make sure I get all the ink. Make sure it all lifts off properly. Alright, and drum roll please. When you peel this off, like I said earlier, peel it away, like to the side rather than up, because if you lift up, then it might pull some of that ink with it. So if you just peel like this. And does that 5 look any better? Yeah, it looks better. I got a bunch of glue on here, but goof off will clean that up, or even my finger will just clean it up. And there you go. And then yeah, so I'm gonna have to do the next one, but I'm not gonna bother making a video for that. But I will make a video using this. I use my feet to unscrew that. Maybe. Alright, gotta set this down again. Alright, so this is the clear nail polish. And what you want to do for this is just give it a good stroke once, flip it over, do it again. And you don't want to touch that again afterwards, because like if you do more than one stroke, then that ink's going to run and you're going to wreck it. So now just wait for it to dry. And there you go. That's how you get a graphic on some domes, some snaps, or whatever you want to call them. I made some of them kind of offset, because I imagine like in the factory pushing these domes on, like they're using like a stamp, so it's actually this graphics embedded or an impression on there. But I don't want them all looking perfect to like straight across, because that looks way too a little too perfect. But yeah, I'll get that next one, and then everything should be good. And then, like I said, once this nail polish dries, you go over it with some kind of like a matte finish, and then hopefully that'll won't look too glossy, and the graphic will stick out a little bit better. I hope that helps, and let me know what you think. Maybe you can modify your own Back to the Future vest. Take care. Alright, one last thing. I just used some dulling spray, and then rather than spraying it on there, I just used the Q-tip again, and then that's just some of that spray that I used. And I just wanted you to see how it looks now that it's not all shiny as can be. There you go. Now you can see the top one better. So my shadow's right in the way, but the graphics all turned out really great. And it's not as shiny. It's more of a matte finish. And to the naked eye, it should look like a Class 5 vest. Alright, so now the video is pretty well done. Please rate and subscribe if this helped. And oh yeah, again for the patch, or the tag up there, I didn't use parchment paper. Like, that was just some kind of silk that I just ran through. I taped down to a piece of paper and then ran through the printer. So for that, you're going to have your graphic right side up. But as you can see, it says Class 5 Mountaineering Equipage, designers, manufacturers, and purveyors to the public. So everything all turned out really good. It wasn't pixelated or anything. And yeah, it is what it is. Please rate and subscribe, and take care.